Why rebooting or resurrecting comic book characters undermines narrative integrity, a critical analysis. Welcome to African Reads Comics, where we dive deep into the world of comics and explore the stories that shape this exciting medium. In today's video, we are tackling a topic that has sparked heated debates in comic book circles for years: the practice of rebooting or resurrecting characters. Whether it's Marvel bringing back Wolverine or DC continually rebooting its universe, the constant resetting of storylines raises some important questions about narrative integrity, emotional stakes, and creative innovation. Let's dive in and break it all down. 1. Narrative stakes and emotional investment. One of the most crucial elements of any good story is the stakes, what's at risk and what the characters stand to lose. In comics, death, transformation, and trauma are some of the most powerful ways to engage an audience. Take the death of Superman in The Death of Superman, 1992. It was a groundbreaking moment. But, when Superman returned shortly after, it cheapened the emotional weight of that loss. The issue here is that, when characters keep coming back, it makes death feel like something that can always be undone. Think about it: when readers know a death or sacrifice will be reversed in some form, it undermines their emotional investment in the story. The tension of the moment is deflated. Death should be permanent in the world of comics if the stakes are to remain real for readers. When a character dies and then is miraculously resurrected, the audience begins to feel like the consequences of that death were never truly significant. 2. Continuity fragmentation. Reboots are often presented as a way to refresh a character or make a complex storyline easier to follow. But the cost of this simplification is often continuity fragmentation. For example, DC Comics' Crisis on Infinite Earths, 1985, was an attempt to clean up the mess of their multiverse, but subsequent reboots like Flashpoint, 2011, and The New 52, 2011, created even more confusion. This constant resetting of continuity has become a major issue for readers who have invested years, sometimes decades, into understanding a character's history. Each time a character's past is rewritten or adjusted, it risks alienating longtime fans who have built a relationship with the original stories. Continuity gets fragmented as every reboot tries to tell a fresh story while ignoring or disregarding previous arcs. This creates a problem where nothing feels certain, and the universe starts to lose its internal logic and cohesiveness. 3. Thematic and character identity. Character identity is built on their past experiences, what they've gone through, the relationships they've formed, and the struggles they've overcome. When characters are rebooted or resurrected, their past is often erased or reinterpreted, and that compromises their identity. Take Spider-Man, for instance. In One More Day, 2007, the writers erased Peter Parker's marriage to Mary Jane Watson as a way to return him to his classic status: young, single, and without the complexities of adult life. While this might have been done to appeal to a wider audience, it undermines everything Peter Parker had been through. His marriage was a significant part of his character's growth, and by erasing that, the character becomes less complex and relatable. The essence of Spider-Man was not just his heroism but his ability to balance personal sacrifice with his responsibilities. By removing that, he loses part of what made him unique. When you erase significant parts of a character's journey, you risk diminishing their overall depth. Readers who identified with the complexities of these relationships are left wondering who this new version of the character is. It's like meeting a completely new person, and the old connections just disappear. 4. Commercial exploitation versus artistic integrity. Let's face it, comics are a business, and reboots are often seen as a way to boost sales. Marvel's Secret Wars, 2015, and DC's Rebirth, 2016, are examples of high-profile events designed to get people talking and bring in new readers. But here's the problem: reboots often feel more like marketing strategies than genuine creative decisions. Resurrecting iconic characters like Wolverine or bringing back older versions of Batman is more about reawakening nostalgia than exploring meaningful story arcs. This over-reliance on established characters might drive short-term profits, but it limits the potential for new ideas. The medium starts to stagnate when publishers rely too much on their big names. It's no surprise that fans often feel the pressure to pick up the latest version of their favorite character, even though the stories aren't offering anything groundbreaking. They are simply cashing in on past success instead of pushing forward with fresh, original narratives. 5. Missed opportunities for legacy development. One of the most compelling aspects of modern comics is the introduction of legacy characters, heroes who take on the mantle of older, iconic figures. Characters like Miles Morales as Spider-Man and Kamala Khan as Ms. Marvel have brought fresh perspectives and diverse voices into the mainstream. However, when older characters are resurrected, it often sidelines these newer heroes, who struggle to gain the same level of prominence. For example, instead of allowing Miles Morales to shine as Spider-Man, Marvel often brings back Peter Parker to reclaim the title. This doesn't just undermine the newer generation of heroes, it also perpetuates a cycle of redundancy. Readers are constantly being asked to return to the same characters instead of embracing new faces and stories. This undermines the chance for fresh, diverse narratives to take center stage. 6. Cultural and psychological effects. The culture of rebooting and resurrecting characters speaks volumes about the broader psychological and cultural dynamics at play. There's a collective resistance to change, a desire to preserve the past, and a nostalgia for simpler times. This desire to resurrect beloved characters often reflects a deeper fear of letting go and embracing new ideas. But this resistance to change stifles progress. On a psychological level, stories about loss, transformation, and mortality resonate deeply because they mirror real-life experiences. In a world where people face loss in their personal lives, comic book characters offer an escape, allowing readers to grapple with those emotions in a safe environment. When those losses are undone, however, it makes it harder for readers to engage with the emotional core of the stories. Recommendations for change. So, what can be done to fix this? First, it's important that publishers stop treating death as something that can always be reversed. Major events, like character deaths, should carry real weight and be allowed to stand, as that's what gives them power. Second, there should be a stronger focus on legacy characters. These newer heroes should be allowed to develop on their own without constantly being overshadowed by their predecessors. Third, publishers need to embrace more standalone storytelling. Not every story needs to reset continuity or resurrect characters. It's okay to explore new narratives in parallel universes or alternate timelines. Lastly, when reboots do happen, they should be clearly framed as separate realities so readers understand what's going on and can appreciate the differences. Conclusion. In conclusion, the practice of rebooting or resurrecting characters in comics is far from perfect. While it may bring short-term gains, it risks undermining the emotional stakes, narrative coherence, and overall integrity of the medium. The constant rehashing of familiar faces prevents comics from evolving and stifles the growth of new characters and stories. To ensure the long-term health of the industry, publishers must strike a balance between honoring the past and embracing the future. Let's hope that future comics focus on creativity, innovation, and lasting impact rather than merely resurrecting characters for the sake of nostalgia. That's all for today's deep dive into the world of comics. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think reboots and resurrections have their place, or do they undermine the integrity of storytelling? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all things comics. Until next time, this is African Reads Comics, where we explore the heroes and stories that make comics truly unforgettable.